Hello, everyone. I am Cristine Keller, author of The Dark Sun, and today I got to sit down with G.P. Hawker. He is an upcoming indie author who has his work in progress in the copy edit phase, but we talk about his inspiration and what's to come with his book. And also, he is a sensation on Instagram. His reels are absolutely funny. So it was so much fun sitting down and talking with him. So I hope you enjoyed the interview. All right, so hello everyone. Today we are speaking with GP Hawker, and I am really, really excited about this because I'm a huge fan already. So, I mean, seriously, I'm like starstruck. So yes, I'm blushing like I did with Nimi. I mean, so, but anyway, it is such a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. So, but you have a work in progress. You don't have a book published yet, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So we're not, because the other day you had a reel about a poem, and I thought, oh, maybe he has other work, but you're just working on what you got right now, right?
Oh yeah, that was just a joke made up on the spot.
It was brilliant, though. I was like, that probably isn't published, but still, it made me think maybe you had like other things that are published. So,
No.
so your work in progress. What genre is it?
So it's middle grade fantasy.
Okay, so YA, young adult.
A bit younger, actually. Yeah, so 10, 11, 12.
Oh, okay.
In theory, but I have written a story that I hope will appeal to adults as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So so how long have you been working on this?
It's a very good question. I came up with the idea probably 8 years ago.
Oh, nice.
And then I started it and then gave up with it, or just because, yes, it's a long story actually. I didn't intend to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
There was no intention there. I didn't have the story in the first instance. It was I used to own a shop, and one morning a name popped into my head as I was opening the door.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, that sounds like a character from a book. So then I just decided to start writing.
Oh,
And
nice.
see what happens. So it was, so I never really had any intention of actually writing a book. So I wrote for a while, and then I just stopped because I didn't think it would go anywhere, and then I'd pick a little bit here and there, and so it started about 8 years ago, but probably seriously in the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be surprised, but a lot of us are like that, where we worked on something ever since we were kids, or 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. So was it more like a hobby for you, like it was for me, or was it just something like, I am just gonna see if I can do this?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't a hobby. It was. Like I say, I started writing it for fun. The shop that I had at the time had various spells where it would be quiet, so I'd just sit and write and see what came out. I've always been creative. I've written other things in the past, but I've never done serious writing, so I didn't have a clue what to do. I had no idea how to write. I hardly ever read fiction. I used to read. I don't read much these days because of children at home, and writing a book sort of takes over a little bit. But I was in the book industry for a long time, and I loved reading, and so I used to read non-fiction rather than fiction. Yes, I didn't really know where to go with it. I just started writing, and I thought, I'll just see where this goes.
Yeah. Did you pick the genre because that's something that you typically do read, or were you just like, no, I'm just going to take this idea and make it a fantasy, or?
Yeah, the name of the which would be the title of the book, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say because I'm not. Yeah, I'm still working. I'm still working on what the exact title is going to be. I've got
Mm-hmm.
a couple of options that I'm going to go for, but yeah, when the name came into my head, it sounded like a younger character.
Mm-hmm.
I think to me.
Yeah.
So originally I wanted it to be sort of teens,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I showed the sort of first chapter to my partner, my now partner, and that was about 4 years ago, and then she was just like, oh, okay, this is great. You've got to do something with this, and
Oh.
then so that sparked me then to actually start writing seriously. So up until that point, it was just me writing ideas down, and seeing what came out really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and I think she sort of read it and went, actually, this sounds to me like it's around about the 10, 11, 12 age. So I thought, okay, well maybe that's what I need to make sure I cater it for that age then.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're definitely, are you going for the self-publishing route, or are you going to try to go traditional publishing?
Well, I think probably self-publishing because the book is currently, so it's been edited. Well, it went through an editor
Good.
for a developmental edit,
Good. Yeah.
which I've just finished. It's about to go back to her this week for a copy edit.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, I'll make a final decision, I think, when it comes back to me this time.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm 95% sure I'm going to just self-publish,
Yeah.
purely because having ADHD and being actually quite sensitive,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could cope with the querying side of it all. I'm not sure I could. Yeah, rejection doesn't sit very well with me. So and actually, I've run businesses for years as well, and so I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like that element. I like that whole creativity and yeah, being able to have full control as well. So
Right.
yeah,
A lot of us, that's why we wanted to go that way with self-publishing, is because we wanted to protect our integrity, our creative integrity, and not have someone tell us, well, we like it, but we want you to change like 80% of it. Um, Plus the fact that you still have to market.
yeah,
So so it's like, okay. And they get more of the money than you, and and it's like, where is the win in that?
yeah,
So I mean, unless you want, your book, I suppose, in a major bookstore, which you still can do even if you're an indie author. So I definitely applaud you for going the way of going that way. I mean,
yeah.
um,
I think that will be the case, and unless my editor, who is also a writer,
mm-hmm.
uh, and has lots of books out, unless she turns around and says, actually, no, you know what, you need to go down that route, then maybe I'll do that. But at the moment, no, I think it's going to suit me better.
Yeah,
Suits my personality better, I think, to
yeah.
have control.
And I
Yeah,
definitely also commend you for getting an editor. I mean, not to knock any indie authors that don't, but having an editor is very instrumental, um, because I feel like they just clean it up very nicely. I know at one point we had exchanged like about the copy edit, and because I'm getting ready for my own copy edit, and even though I keep showing that I'm dreading it, I actually love this part. It's actually a lot of fun. So I am looking forward to your take on it to see if you feel the same way after you look at it.
what on the copy edit?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, to be honest.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I absolutely found it so fun. My husband actually had to drag me away from the keyboard, and I said, "Oh no, this is." It was fun for me. I don't know about everybody else, but with the critique and development edit, though, I definitely cried. I was like, but
Yeah.
um, but it
Uh,
ended up being a really good thing. So
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, developmental edit is a challenge. That's
yeah,
insane. But
yeah,
I'm with you. For me, that had to be done.
yeah,
I needed, I just things that I didn't know about when
yeah,
writing. It's
yeah,
like things that now are so obvious, but
right,
at the time it was like I've got no idea about that. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And my book's quite complex as well
mm-hmm,
because although it's got two main characters. It's got one main character, but it's got a sort of second main character really. So it's two POVs throughout the book.
nice,
But there are times when there's a group of 9 of them,
yeah,
all talking, and yeah, that's been a challenge, and I definitely made it hard for myself for my first proper book.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just balancing all that, but yeah, still keeping the POVs down though. I feel is a really good thing having a lot of them is like I remember there was one author that said, "Oh, I've got 20 POVs," and I'm like, "Are you insane?" Um, no, I'm for me. Even if there's more than four, it really turns me off. Um, but yeah, so I commend you for that. But yeah, it makes it difficult when you have a bunch of characters that are all grouped together talking and stuff.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite questions to ask, um, and I won't ask you to reveal anything, but do you? I mean, we all have our characters. You know, they're all from us, but do you identify with any of them?
Yes, yeah, there are elements for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think two of the characters I kind of wrote off of my children.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah, just based on their personalities a little bit. But yeah, there are elements I think where certainly I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I think I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like if you're I don't know, some authors like to put themselves in the book, and that turns me off completely. I don't like saying, well, yeah, I'm this character is completely based off of me or whatever. So yeah, I like that where you kind of just pull a little bit of yourself into them, but not completely. But still, though, it's one of my favorite questions to ask.
Yeah. No, there isn't much. Actually, I had the beginning of the story. I tried to make it where I grew up,
Mm-hmm.
and it became so personal because I couldn't get everything to work, and it
Mm-hmm.
became really frustrating because I was, no, that's not how it looked in real life. So I want it to look like that,
Yeah.
and in the end, I just gave up on it. And in the end, I just wrote how I saw the beginning
Mm-hmm.
and took that whole element out because actually that complicated it for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's some kind of personal experiences in there,
Mm-hmm.
little stories from my past. Actually, I was going to share one on Instagram actually because I haven't shared much about my book at all on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mostly just annoying people by teasing them, um, which I probably annoy a lot of people on Instagram. But hey,
No. I
yeah,
no, and we are going to talk about that because the one thing I love is that I can't even believe how many reels I see. Like yours pops up on my feed like all the time. I'm like, what? It's like it seems like you pull, like you push out like 4 or 5 a day, but they're so funny, so clever. I love how clever and funny they are. So, are they just spontaneous, or do you just like go, okay, today I'm going to do this, get a script or whatever?
yeah, no, they're spontaneous. Yeah, yeah. There's no planning. The only thing I might hear a sound, an audio somewhere that I like, and I'll save it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I might go back to that and use that. But there's no prep there. Um, it's just me being me. I am ridiculously silly, um, and that comes out. I think it is. yeah, I just have fun with it. For
Yeah.
me, it's my daily job is not massively great for an ADHDer. It doesn't stimulate my there's very little stimulation there, and it doesn't. I can't be creative. So Instagram, weirdly, I know the book is creativity, but of course that's a lot more hard work there. Whereas Instagram is quick wins. It's like just
Yeah.
you can do something that's funny, and you can feel like you've been creative in a
Yeah.
weird way. And if people appreciate it, then it makes you want to do it more.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you make us laugh. You don't annoy us at all with it.
well, that's good to hear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. I was like, I've got to interview him. Just so funny. But let's get back to your book, because well, and you. And you know what, usually I start off with, tell us about who you are. But you can tell us as little or as much as you want, so who is GP Hawker?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure I know myself. Well, I am. I'm a single dad of 2 children. Got an autistic child. My eldest, who's 15, and my youngest is 12, who is, we think, ADHD. So he's on the waiting list, which is a very long waiting list over here. About 4 years, I think, or something like that. So and then I myself have ADHD as well, but I actually was only diagnosed last year. So I've gone 40 odd years of not having a clue, and then all of a sudden it's sort of sprung on me.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, we live in Oxfordshire in England, sort of just about 20 minutes out of Oxford City. So we live in the countryside. Beautiful part.
Yeah.
Don't know what else there is to say about me, really. I work full time from home, but my eldest is homeschooled, so she's with me every day.
Okay.
Working from home.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of juggling involved. With trying to write a book and working and homeschool. Well, I don't have to do much homeschooling. It's all online, but
right.
She's still present. I still have to make her lunch and motivate her to do work and so forth, and help if she needs anything. But
we definitely have that in common, because my daughter is also on the spectrum, so it is it does make life a little bit more difficult. But I don't know whose life isn't. It's just one of those. Okay, that's something to just adjust your life to. Because I don't know about for you, but it was like an overtime kind of thing of like, I didn't even think, right? Because I don't know, I guess the spectrum for everybody is a bit different. I don't know, and the language to it keeps changing, like neurodivergent or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what everybody is comfortable with, but yeah, we have a lot in common there. So that's cool. You know what? Going to your reels real quick. For the longest time, I didn't even know you were British.
Yeah, I think the first time I did a real voice video, everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah, because it was like for the longest time you did or voiceovers, and I was like, okay. And then when and then the first time I did hear your voice, I thought you were. I can't even remember what it was, but I thought you were just doing another one. And I was like, no, wait a minute. He really is British.
I had a few people message me and they were like, that's not your real voice. I was like, yeah, unfortunately it is. That's why I do other people's voices.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. So, but I was like, wow, I didn't know that, because you have done so many so many voiceovers that it was quite a surprise, but it was cool. But I was like, is he imitating a British person? Because I was like, wow, he's nailing it. That's what my thought was. He's really nailing that British accent. I mean,
No, it was. It's funny because the Instagram thing I only actually started in July,
oh,
because I had the account for a long time, but
mm-hmm.
never did anything with it because I didn't know what to do with it. And then
Right.
my partner said to me, you know, you really probably should start, you know, doing something to promote yourself.
Yeah.
I think she regrets that now by the amount I do. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try it, and I tried for a few weeks and then gave up, deleted the app because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing on here. I
Oh,
can't, you know,
yeah.
I can't figure out what people would want.
Mm.
And then I did one thing where I did some kind of, I don't know, silly voiceover when I was looking at my work, and suddenly loads of people liked, well, a lot of people compared to what I was getting liked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's more who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's more me, stupid faces, just being silly. So then, yeah, so then I started doing that because my engagement sucked. There was just no engagement at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just thought, and because it was an old account as well, old accounts are harder to, they don't catch the algorithm like a new account.
Yeah.
So I was just reaching nobody at all.
Yeah. No, it's I think any platform, I mean, they're all got their quirks. Like Facebook
Yeah.
is so archaic, and it's almost like down there in a dungeon, and it's like, you know, trying to, you know, make anything out of it, it is difficult. So, but you nailed it with Instagram.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people out there who've got a lot more followers than I have, but it's I think for me, yes, it'd be nice to have lots of followers, but actually I think it's the engagement that I like the most. I love
Yeah.
chatting to people. I just
Yeah.
have people constant. My DMs are always full every day. I spend ages trying to work through them, and you know, not always with messages, just people laughing at
Yeah.
stories or something, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's messages, and I just love that engagement because you know, I'm a little bit socially awkward. I don't really go out that much necessarily.
Yeah.
I go out with my partner and
Yeah.
my kids at different times, you know, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's a social. It is actually a social network for me.
Oh, definitely. So
It's good fun.
Are you an extrovert then? Because most of us are introverts, you know.
No, I'm definitely an introvert. Yeah. I think people think I'm an extrovert because, well, probably because I post so much on Instagram, but also because I can talk. I can talk for England, so so I think some people think I am, but no, I am 100% an introvert. Yeah.
I really want to thank you because just seeing your reels, it really, I don't know, I'm sure for a lot it makes our day. And for the longest time I thought you were a comedian, you know. I was like, he's got to be on stage or something because he's just so funny. And I thought, oh, that would be so easy for him. But nothing like that, just on Instagram, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think. Yeah, Instagram's quite easy in that, you know, it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard work to get followers and interaction, but it's easy in the sense that it's just me in front of a camera being silly. That's fairly easy. I don't think I could do anything else, but I don't know. Personally, I don't think I have the voice for it either, which is why quite often I'll use other people's voices because I find them funnier. I know a lot of Americans are like, oh, I love your voice, I like your accent. And
oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah, but yeah, to me, I don't. Yeah, but I think that's just an American British thing, isn't it?
So let's go back to your book real quick because I definitely would like to get this out of like, so you got your development done, you're about to do a copy edit. So after that, what are your plans? So what's gonna, where are you going forward after that?
I'm not doing beta readers because I've already had three people essentially read it and give me feedback already. So
good.
So I always say I'm past that stage now.
Okay.
Which I think you probably are by the time you get to a copy edit.
With beta
And
readers, yeah, you want them
yeah,
to look at it before a copy edit.
yes, yeah. So yeah, next would be after that. I guess will be proofreading,
Yes.
which my editor will do. I think she wants to see the book all the way through,
Oh, okay.
which would be great for me because she completely understands me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and she's very to the point, which I don't always handle very well. But I've learned that I need to listen and take on everything she says. So yeah,
Yes.
and then it will be, I guess it will be cover design next, which I've sort of designed a cover roughly, but I'll get a proper designer to do it. I can only design to a certain amount, to a certain
Yeah.
level. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have probably spent quite a lot on this book, or I will be spending quite a lot on this
Mm-hmm.
book because it's my first one. I wanted to do it as best as I could, and
Yeah.
then we'll see what the outcome is and whether I continue to write any more. I don't know.
That was going to be my next question, is this going to be a standalone, or is it going to be a series? Or are you going to write other books that are in the same genre?
So the plan is for it to be a series, but again, it will. I think for me, it partly will depend on what the response is when it gets out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think if everyone turned around and said it's a load of rubbish, then then maybe I wouldn't. Then maybe I wouldn't write another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the second one is already in mind, although that's changed slightly now because since the developmental edit, I've ended up changing the story slightly to what I originally had. So yeah, second one's in mind, for sure, if people like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got I think every writer that I know from writers from Instagram. Everyone seems to have about 10 books on their brain that they want to write, in their
Yeah.
mind. And yeah, so I've got a few I want to write. Got a couple of grown-up books I'd like to write. I don't know whether I am capable of writing a grown-up book. I know that sounds silly. It's not that a children's book or a younger audience book is easier to write, because it's absolutely not.
Right.
But I think the way that I'm wired, I probably write better for that age.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I've got a couple of I think really good ideas that I'd like to have a crack at. So we'll see. I had a few moments where I got carried away writing. I've got another children's book which I've written. It'll be a very much younger age, which I started writing, and I sort of everything took me away from this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, no, you know what I need, which is very un-ADHD. Like I need to just focus on this,
Mm-hmm.
try and get this right.
Right.
So because I don't have a background in English literature, or I didn't grow up writing stories and loving books. I was a boy that just wanted to be outside,
Yeah.
causing trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's not like it was a passion. I always liked writing, as I became an adult, but just for fun, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know how I kind of feel a little bit like I sometimes don't feel like I fit in quite in Instagram, because I feel like a fraud in some ways, because everyone just looks like they're so on it, and
No.
I read bits that people put up, little snippets of their books, and I'm like, oh man, my book is nowhere near as in depth as that. And then I have to remind myself, well, no, that's because it's for a younger audience. So
Right.
it needs to be, because it's very fast paced.
Yeah.
But I have to keep reminding myself, actually, is that the comparison thing, isn't it? You constantly compare yourself to others.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's an art form, so not every book is going to be the same. It's
Right.
not, and it's not going to appeal to everyone.
Right.
It's like everything, isn't it? You buy a piece of art, and one person might hate it, the next will love it.
Right.
It speaks to them. So
Yeah.
I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Yeah, definitely keep that in mind, because there's always going to be trolls, or people that just like to trash on other people, and
Yeah.
that's a hard part too, because our books are babies, you know, so, and they come straight from our hearts. So, and
Yeah,
I don't mind it if someone says, well, it's just not my thing. That's okay. But
yeah.
yeah, you definitely get people that are just like, just trash it. So it's like, you gotta
Yeah.
get a
I think
thick
that's one of the
skin.
hard. Sorry, I think that's one of the hard things about a developmental editor actually
Mm-hmm.
is
Yes.
that they don't trash it. You know,
No.
they're incredible, but
Yeah.
they quite often will go through and go, I think you need to take that bit out completely. And then you're like, no, I love that bit. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
spent ages writing that. That's like a key part.
Yeah.
And then you go back and look at it. Like I removed some and that I really pained over, even though
Yes.
she said, I think that slows it down, or that's, that's not,
Yeah.
doesn't fit right.
Right.
And now I look back and I go, why on earth did I paint over that? That's just, it just reads so much better now.
Yeah.
But it's a bit like that. You get a little bit offended to start with because you're a bit like, oh,
Yeah.
ouch, that's a bit.
Oh yeah. I
Harsh.
mean, for my first one, Ed, I'm so thankful for my editor, because I ended up taking like 10% of the version that I gave her, and then gave her what I have now. And so I look back going, oh, I am so glad that she she righted me out. So but yeah, it is very hard to take at first. And you know, it's a, as my editor said, it's a conversation. It's not a personal jab, but it does feel personal at first.
Mm.
So when do you think you're gonna do the cover reveal, and or just even the title reveal? Because I'm really excited to see all that.
I'll probably do the title reveal with the cover reveal.
Okay.
I'll probably do it. I probably will. Yeah, I've not decided yet. I don't know. I said to myself when I started, when Instagram started getting, when I started getting a little bit more interest on Instagram, I said, just,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get carried away. I'm
Yeah.
not going to just blurt it out, because also I know what I'm like. I change my mind
Right.
on everything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to write the book, because I just couldn't make up my mind on certain elements.
Yeah.
Names were fine and some of the places were fine, but actually the overall, there were parts where I just could not make up my mind.
Yeah.
And so I think I want to wait until I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I'll just say quickly, a lot of people think I'm going to write a funny book, but I'm just want to say it's not funny.
It's not funny.
It might have some of my humor in it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. But yeah, we'll see. Like I say, I'm not rushing. I
Yeah.
was when the developmental editor came back to me and told me how long the process was going to take. I was like, oh, I wanted this done by Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I sat down and thought, you know what? What's it matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So I think the hope is that we'll release in September. That's my aim at the moment.
Oh, okay. No,
But
that's something to look forward to. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the cover release hopefully earlier, but I don't know at the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to be open about it and relaxed about it, and not get myself worked up.
No, and you're not alone in that, because I didn't want to, I did the same thing. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to I was just like, it's sci-fi, and I didn't want to take it further than that. So what you're doing is not uncommon at all. So
Yeah.
no, you got it. This is what I love about talking about writing scenes. I don't know for you. I mean, especially since you're ADHD, I am as well. If I can't have anything distracting me, I got to be completely focused on what I'm writing and be immersed in the scene and the character. Is that the same for you, where you got to like
no, not really. No. Well, I have to write when I can write. So and the houses over here are obviously a lot smaller than they are in the US. So we the kids are quite often, I'm sitting at the dining room table writing, and my children are in and out, sometimes watching YouTube on the telly, or and I just have to write with all that going on. And I do usually have to write with music on. If I've got the house to myself, I can write without music, that's fine, but I suffer really badly with tinnitus, so like
Oh,
I had the ringing in the ears. So
yeah,
that can be really distracting when you're writing, because that's all you sort of home in on.
yeah,
So I do tend to listen to music, and I listen to, quite heavy rock sometimes, or something, and that's how I write, and that's how I find that actually really helps me with this, certainly within the more action packed scenes. I find music really helps me.
yeah.
Or I'll stick a film on.
Oh,
I'll put like something like Lord of the Rings on in the background,
mm.
or Star Wars or something, and that I just have that on in the background. And yeah, I do write well with stuff going on.
Yeah, I put on YouTube, and there's a lot of dystopian, atmospheric, ambient, you know, noise or music. I want to say it's really evolved from white noise,
Yeah,
and I like it because sometimes I just need that monotone like background just
yeah,
so that I can focus in, or if I need something that where it's an action scene and I need that intensity. So
yeah,
um, I really love how you can find anything on YouTube these days,
yeah,
and how
yeah.
creative all those people are. I really appreciate them and being able to do that. But yeah, you did have some reels that I thought were funny, where you said you put on Lord of the Rings and 4 hours later, uh, instead of writing, you're watching the movie.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, like I tend my TV is in my living room, is in line with me, so I can't see it from where I
Yeah.
sit to write.
Oh,
So so long as I sit down at my computer and just have it on in the background.
yeah.
um, but I will there'll be scenes where I'll get up and I'm like, oh, I love this scene, I've got to get up and watch it, even though I've seen it 1,000 times.
Right.
It's yeah, so it can be a distraction, but most of the time it's helpful for me.
I think you're doing
Yeah,
great. I think you're doing great, and I think you're going to be very well received once you uncover your mysterious book. But
thanks.
I
Yeah, I feel like I've shot myself in the foot a little bit with the book, because
no,
I feel like people think it's going to be incredible because they or whatever, certainly that's what people say, and I'm like, this is my first book, it might not be incredible,
yeah,
or it might not be what you think it's going to be, and
yeah,
so there is that fear, but I knew that I needed to try and I look at people that are pushing their books all the time,
yeah,
and I was like, I obviously can't do that. And I thought, how on earth am I going to grow my Instagram page, because I've got nothing to sell? And then
mm-hmm,
I was like, I just got to try and sell myself. It's
yeah.
it's being the fool and hope that people like it. So yeah,
No,
so that's what it is.
you're definitely nailing it. Yeah, I think they're cute, they're funny, they really make my day. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Yeah, you're getting a lot more engagement than you think. And that's the hard part, is getting the engagement, especially with Instagram.
Yeah,
But yeah, you never know what people are going to like. But yeah, it's good that you're putting yourself out there already. Like I said, you're taking that step first, where I was like, no, I'll just leave it last. What's the big deal? Well, it
yeah,
is a big deal. So I think you're going to be well received, but yeah. But books, regardless, are a slow burn. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've not got any expectations really for it. I think
Yeah.
I think I'll probably have a few pre-orders, because there's a few people on Instagram that seem to want it already, regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't expect it to blow up as such. But I hope that it will be well received. I love the story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not too dark. But it's got a lot going for it. I think the only thing I sometimes worry about, and I think most authors or writers will have this same thought, is that what if it's too much like something else?
Yeah.
And that's really hard, because
Yeah.
you see stuff that are like other things, but it's not intentional, because
Right.
I've never read anything like this.
Yeah.
But then I send it to the the editor, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, it's not anything necessarily new that I've seen."
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, "Well, I've never seen anyone write it because I've not come across a book like that."
Right.
So I think it's all about how you get your message across. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's quite hard to write something completely unique now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's just so much out there
Yeah.
in the
Me and
world.
Nimi were talking about that. She had been working on her book for since 2010, I think. And so before Altered Carbon came out, she was writing along similar lines, and she had that moment of, oh crap, what if somebody thinks that I stole this idea or whatever. Yeah, I think we all think that, and
Yeah.
just hope it's unique. But at the same time, there's some that you can say, well, this is similar to, like Dan's book. I can definitely say, Independence Day. What else? I had a few others like Star Trek, that kind of thing. So, but at the same time, you still, I mean, he has a very unique story, so you want to keep it that way. Yeah, but it is hard to. But when you do make that shift of going from funny to where, okay, I finally got my book out, I don't know, it might be different. I don't know. I think we're all just still trying to figure it out. So,
I think there's so many people writing books now.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I've even noticed on social media a few people have put characters up, and I'm like, oh damn, that is like either a character that I've used or sounds very similar to a character I've used. And then your initial thought is, oh, I've got to go and change that. And it's like, well, no, because that's the character, and that's that's been the character since I started writing it. So
right.
It will remain like that, and you can't help that. There's going to be crossovers. Galore. And I think one thing in my book, although it's fantasy, although I would call it science fantasy, I'm not sure whether everyone would agree with that, but there are, I've kept most of the names fairly simple because I want people to remember them. I don't want, it's different when you've got something like Lord of the Rings where you've got, all sorts of different great names, but when you've got a certain age of person reading a book, I kind of felt like, well, actually I want them to connect and remember. And so so a lot of my character names aren't massively quirky. There's a few, but
yeah, I have to say one of my, you point that out, one of my favorite reels that you did was, you're typing and it's like Whimsy Nimsy took Barcelona or something like, I don't know. I don't remember where you got that from, but it was absolutely funny because I'm like, yeah, that is what it's like reading a fantasy book. It's all these weird names and they're traveling to, somewhere.
Oh, that was an audio from a content creator who's brilliant. He's an American guy that just, his stuff is so funny. and I saw that, I came across that one, and I was like, I've got to use that audio.
Yeah, it was great. It's one of my, it's my top favorite. I mean, it's just like, but it's because it's so true.
Yeah.
It really is.
What was it? I can't remember what it was now, but it's a very funny.
I just remember it's like Nimsy Whimsy,
Yeah, and that didn't do that well.
Really?
No, not compared to some others. That's the hard thing about Instagram is, I've had a few where I think this is going to do really well, and then it just doesn't. And so especially the ones that you work hard on, and then I'll do some random thing. I did one quite a few weeks ago. I'd already put up a couple of posts. So I tend to do 3 a day if I can. I haven't done any today.
Sorry.
Because I've been out, and I was like, and I had yesterday. I put up 4, and the problem is if you put up too much, you then drown out your other ones.
Yeah.
But I hadn't been intentional about that yesterday. In fact, I was having I'm fed up with Instagram. I'm not going to put anything else up today. That's what I had yesterday. But then I ended up putting up 4 not old ones, but ones that I pre-filmed. But yeah, then I did one a few weeks back where literally I was just sat at my desk writing, and it was the kids were watching telly, and I literally just got my camera and I just filmed myself. It was dark, it was rubbish quality, and then I just put some random text over it about what it's like to be a writer, and then it just went straight away, just boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That was no effort at all. It's rubbish quality, and there's no thought behind it. And then that's just done well, and that's just Instagram. It's about tapping into. I see people that have got quite small followings, but yet getting massive views. But then their views aren't resonating with the followers. And then I see people the other way around, got a huge following, and then their reels are just getting very small interaction. So I don't fully understand it, if I'm honest.
No,
I just do what I think works, and then hope for the best.
No, I totally get it. I get a lot of reels that seem to do really well, but then I had one a couple weeks ago that just skyrocketed. And I was like, what did I do? I have no idea. So you never know, I guess. It's just a random thing.
Yeah. Well, my best one, I think, was the I think it was a Lord of the Rings clip I did with me doing. There was something about sending reels to people, and and that's the one that's done the best. And it's still growing now. It's still going, and most of the ones that have done the best haven't got me in, which is interesting. I have actually one of my top 3 does have me in, but it was about reels. It was just me walking across the screen to the Jaws music, or the Jaws intro, and it's really hard because you think. I feel bad sometimes when I don't put up something writer related, because I think, everyone's going to unfollow me because it's not writer related. And then I'm like, oh, but it's quite funny. and I'm not, and it's not just writers that follow me. I seem to have got a few other people, so I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing. I just do it and hope for the best. So I get a lot of people write to me and ask me, how do you do that? What do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
I definitely want to read it before I interview you again so that we can nerd out on it. And
well, yeah, it's not a big book. So it's only like 50,000 words. So it was bigger, but my editor was like, no, it needs to be smaller for that age. You need to. And I was cool with that because I never wanted it to be a big book, because I know as a kid I struggled to read. I look at my son who's ADHD; he struggles to read. Like he can read, but he doesn't like reading necessarily. And I thought I don't want. My daughter's she reads, she can read. She likes reading. She reads masses, but I look at some of the books that she brings home, and I think as a kid that would put me off. So I was like, I don't want that. That's not what I want.
I never even thought of that. Because for their age, you got to have something smaller. So okay.
Yeah, well, I think you look at Harry Potter, for example, which is a similar age range. Obviously, mine's not going to be Harry Potter.
You never know.
Harry Potter, but and I will never compare myself to J.K. Rowling. She's incredible writer, but they when I look at some of her books, I think as a kid I wouldn't have even picked that up because they're so big. I thought I don't want that. I want to be able to offer it to people that maybe don't read much and aren't put off by the size of it. So originally I was going for 65,000 words, but my editor was like, no, we need to get it to 50 really, because that is sort of prime for that age, 40 to 50. So although it doesn't sound like a big book, there's a hell of a lot of work has gone into it. And really, and that's sometimes where I feel like a fraud, because I look at people knocking out 120,000 words and I'm like, I've done half that and I'm taking even longer than you are to do it. So I'm hoping for an adult it won't take too long for them to read. So if I send it out for people for reviews and stuff, then it's not going to be intimidating or daunting.
Well, if you're coming out hopefully in September, I would love to be an ARC reader.
Okay.
Definitely.
I didn't know whether I was going to do ARC readers or not. I think because I think I'm just still worried about what people will think of it. So, and I almost don't want to be put off before it starts, if that makes sense. So,
Right. Totally get you.
um,
Yeah.
and I know, like my daughter read it and she loved it, uh, and she's autistic. She's honest. She can't lie. My
Yeah.
partner, who has been really the driving force behind this in many ways, because she's
Mhm.
been very much like, we don't live together, but she's been very much like, no, I think this is the way forward. I think
Yeah.
you've really got to push this, and
Yeah.
she's pushed me to do it, and she read it, and it's not her thing at all because she doesn't read fantasy,
Yeah.
um, but again she loved it, but she is so honest,
Mhm.
that I can tell by any facial expression if she likes it or not.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So she's completely honest with me, and I love that really helped, and she was, like I say, when she read the first chapter and was like, you need to push this now. And I was like, and I was like, well, coming from you who has to be honest,
Mhm.
that was a real, that was a
Yeah.
real drive. And then the editor loved the story as well. Oh, she says she does.
No,
But,
trust me, a good editor will tell you,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
whether you got a
I,
green light or not. They're not going to embarrass themselves by
yeah.
telling you, "Oh yeah, it's great. Let's work with it." So,
Yeah,
um,
no, yeah. She got the snippet. Sometimes you send them just a small bit, don't you, for them to read through. And
mhm.
she was straight away. Yeah, I can already see where you're going with this,
Mhm.
and I'd love to work on it.
Oh, good.
But she did say it wasn't polished enough, and so that's what I've been working on. But as a
Yeah.
new author, it's not going to be polished, is it? Let's be honest. You need some support in that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're there. Hopefully it will be good. I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
I try to tell other indie authors, don't edit 1,000 times, because let your editor have it. That's their job. And your first one will tell you, where you need to tweak and all that, but your copy edit will clean up the mess.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, so because I did the same thing. I read my version, like, I don't know, 1,000 times, and then when it got to my editor, I was like, oh, I was worried for nothing, because she corrected whatever mistakes I was always trying to look for, right?
yeah,
So yeah, I that's why I really appreciate it when an author gets an editor, because it's really hard reading a book, and again, once and you read a book and you're like, this was not edited at all, and
yeah,
it's really hard to move forward in that.
yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
definitely cringe when someone tells me, no, I didn't get an editor, and but read my book anyway. So I'm like,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
no, for me that it was always a must, because
Yeah.
I'm not an academic. I'm not, like I
Mhm.
said, I flunked school. I'm not, and when I was writing this, I was like, I don't actually know what I'm doing. All I know is that
Right.
I'm creative and I've got a story, and I've
Yeah.
got tens of stories in my brain, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I, and I want to have a go at it. I want for me that was I wanted to do it, and so I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm gonna get support, and I'm gonna listen to them, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try
Yeah.
and do it my way. I'm gonna actually listen to what they say,
Yeah.
and do it from someone who knows.
Yeah.
So it was really key. Yeah, really key. So
Absolutely, because yeah, they'll spot stuff that you didn't see before, or let you know this is not progressing the story,
yeah,
or the character is way off mark from the personality you had in the beginning or something.
yeah,
But I'm also glad to hear that you have a partner that I consider an alpha reader, because they are the ones that are brutally honest,
yeah,
and will tell you, not from an editor perspective, but from a reader perspective, whether this
yeah,
is hooking me and wanting me to read more. So
yeah,
I'm really glad that you have that support, because we all need support from everybody, as
yeah.
much
So
as possible.
yeah,
So, and I'm,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm so sorry. I know you said you had to get off like 10
Yeah, I'm just looking
minutes.
at the time thinking,
I'm like,
really?
I'm so
I can
sorry.
see messages flashing up on my phone as well constantly. So I
Sorry.
don't, no,
It
don't be silly.
it's just so much fun talking with you and talking, of what you can of your book. And it makes me really excited to want to read it. But don't be afraid of ARC readers. uh but they are useful, they are needed, because you do need those reviews. And
Yeah.
definitely count me in for one.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
At
Thanks.
least, yeah. And I, like I said, I read everything on a reader perspective, because I know nothing of editing. And even though I know what I know now from my editor, still I am not that. I didn't go to a 4-year college for that.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
No.
Don't regret it either. I'm just like, I had my first career, and now I'm like glad that I can do this. So yeah, but this has been so great. This has been, I mean, I could talk to you for another hour. I mean, because
Yeah.
you're just lovely to speak with. So but we have lives
Yeah,
to get
likewise.
back to, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always a bit trapped for time, really. So it's
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, we could have done it yesterday, but then I'd had the kids here, and that would have been really difficult. But yeah, now I've got to go and pick them up from their mums. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and I appreciate you being able to give me a spot to get you in. And this worked. And yeah, I didn't want to, next week is going to be crazy, so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, because our time is precious.
You're most welcome. I'm grateful. I honestly, when you approached me first, I thought, why on earth do you want to interview me? I was like, my book's not out yet. I don't know why. And I was just like, well, yeah, let's go for it.
No, why not? I mean, you're not the first I've interviewed that doesn't have a book out yet, so it's, but I mean, again, this is supporting each other. And just getting to know you. I was like, I have got to interview him. And like you, I'm still starting out, even though I have a book already published. I'm still very new to the publishing world, just being out there. So, but anyway, it was just so great speaking with you. So much fun. I hope this isn't the last, because I definitely would love to do more interviews, but definitely that one once you have your book out, and I'm not a fantasy, obviously I'm not a YA, but but I still would love to read your book, and be able to have that next interview, us nerding out on it. So I think that would,
I'd love that. Yeah, it'd be great.
That would be
great to be
fun.
able to actually talk about it properly.
Yeah.
And not be so secretive, but yeah.
Yeah, no, and you're not alone in that, I swear, because I kept my mouth shut until it was until I got my copyright.
Right.
I didn't want
Your
to.
title.
Yeah, and even my editors, they were like, look, even before you get that, it's still legally yours. And I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't comfortable like that. So that's not uncommon for you to feel that way at all. So I'm right there with you. But once you get it out, you're gonna blast it. So
yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
Well, you have my support. So anytime you even want to just chat, we can always meet up like this, not recording. But you got me. I got your back.
Thank you. It's really kind. Thanks.
So again, thank you for joining me. And and I'll see you on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Take care of yourself. Thanks
Bye.
a lot. Bye-bye.
It was absolutely fun talking with GP, and I can't wait to have him back. And of course, when his book comes out, we are going to have another sit down and and chat about his book. So if you enjoyed this interview, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Until the next video, happy reading.